The Dodgers got swept by Pittsburgh. Do you remember that? Because I sure don't. Me neither. Hey, everybody. LeBron James is a billionaire. How much credit we have to give to China on that? No idea. And why this so-called National League Championship Series preview between the Dodgers and the Mets really isn't that big a deal. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is Faithful Angelenos. I'm going to be honest with you. I am in blinding pain. I had to lug some really desperate, injured, heavy people around, and my lower back is just barking like no other. But we're going to muddle through this. If you like the content we've been putting out for the last 3 months, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. We put out videos usually between 9 and 10 a.m. every day to let you know it's there. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. I ain't perfect. And we're going to get to why I'm not perfect in a little bit. Last night, the Dodgers defeated the Mets 2-0. The Dodgers have a 3.5 game lead. It's the first time that the Mets have been shut out this year. Tony Gonsolin has an NL best 1.59 ERA. Terrific night, and that's why that whole Pittsburgh sweep, I didn't really pay a lot of attention to it. Dodgers notes, part owner Alan Smolinski has joined a group that has offered more than $2 billion to the Portland Trail Blazers to try and buy him out. Now, a spokesperson for the team said, hey, team's not for sale. We'll see what happens. In addition to that, Clayton Kershaw's rehab. He is off to the beautiful, majestic city of Rancho Cucamonga for rehab. By the way, dude, totally love you, totally respect you. Make sure you don't cross over into that border into Fontana or Rialto. Just a heads up. Just a heads up. Kevin Pillar, I feel bad for the guy. He might need surgery. He makes all this effort to try to have a comeback. He fractured his left shoulder. Ouch. Not fun. LeBron James, by the way, is the first active NBA player to become a billionaire, according to Forbes magazine. Michael Jordan did become a billionaire, but that didn't happen until a few years after he had retired. I'm going to be upfront. Regarding what other people make, honestly, I don't care. I don't. I have food. I have a roof over my head. I'm good. You know, right? But one thing I do love, typos. Oh, as a former journalist, I love me some typos, especially the ones that are double entendres, but that didn't happen. What did happen? CBS Sports. Their typo, LeBron James raked in a whopping $121 last year. Let's hear it for copy editors, folks. Let's hear it for copy editors. I mentioned earlier yesterday I got hurt doing something stupid. Okay, because even if you practice ergonomic posture while lifting, the human body can only withstand so much. I lifted too much. It was stupid. Very stupid. But you know what's even stupider? Way too early preseason rankings. Those are stupid. You know what's even stupider than that? Risers and fallers in the way too early preseason rankings. And this really bothers me because I like CBSSports.com. I do. But having said that, UCLA, they dropped them in the preseason rankings from 6 to 10 because Jules Bernard isn't coming back. Come on, guys. Come on. Jules Bernard wasn't that much of a difference maker. Stop it. Cut it out. I'm not even trying to clown the guy. Just cut it out. You're reading too much into this stuff, trying to generate content. There's a website that lists Rams players who are in danger of not making the team. Now, they listed quarterback Bryce Perkins, and to no disrespect, I just don't care, right? Because if Matthew Stafford can't go, the Rams are toast. We already know this. So why should we care? But having said that, they included lineman Bobby Evans, which was a bit of a surprise. He was kind of useful for the Rams. He plays guard, he plays tackle. Here's the problem. He lost his starting job last year to Austin Corbett. So if you're trying to squeeze a few extra dollars under the salary cap, does Bobby Evans become expendable? It's cold-hearted business, but it's a fair question. There was this guy, maybe he was taunting me, maybe not, and I don't want you to dox him or whatever just because he's not this big Dodger fan. It doesn't matter. So he was like trying to clown me a little bit. I think he was trying to clown me. He's like, oh, where did all the Dodgers' momentum go after Pittsburgh? And honestly, I think it's a fair question for the most part. I do. And I'd like to answer about the momentum, but there are multiple reasons that I just don't care. Okay? Like, first of all, if the playoffs started today, the Pirates aren't in. So the Pirates aren't going to eliminate the Dodgers. But they're below 500. They're 5 games out in the wild card race. They only have about 20 wins, which means 1/4 of their victories came against LA. Where are they going to make a big run? Right? Number 2, the Dodgers that we see now will not be the team we see in the playoffs. Kershaw is likely coming back. Now, Urias has struggled, and that happens with younger pitchers. They can have a great year, and then they plummet. It just happens. Maybe Urias gets moved to the bullpen for the playoffs like they did when they won the world title a couple of years ago. We have no idea. Third, teams run by analytics. Like the Dodgers are definitely run by analytics. The Oakland A's, they started this trend. They would split the year into thirds, okay? So about the first, say, 50 games, it's all evaluation on the roster. What do we have? What do we need? So there's not a lot of big panic moves made during those first 50 games. Then the next 50, you start to adjust. It could be promotion from the minor leagues. It could wind up being trades. And then basically in the final third, that would be after the trade deadline, you just let it ride. So right now, the Dodgers are at the end of evaluate mode, trying to figure out what they have and what they need. Here's another reason that I don't really care. Look, if you go back, Philadelphia came into LA and beat the hell out of the Dodgers, and then LA went to Philly, smacked them around, but nice. So, random games, random series wins and losses. I try not to read too much into that. So, the press right now is touting this Mets-Dodgers series as a National League Championship Series preview. Maybe. Maybe it is. But I'm not going to put a lot of emphasis on this particular series, and I'll tell you why. See, let's break it down. The Mets, I have to admit, their lineup looks a lot like LA in the sense that there are no easy outs. The Mets, they lead the league in batting average. Pete Alonso drives in a lot of runs. Francisco Lindor scores a lot of runs. And, of course, the Dodgers, they're averaging 5 runs a game. So we already know about their lineup. Long term, though, there's a question for the Mets. See, the Mets weren't that good last year. They just weren't. And they made some adjustments. You might remember that Robinson Cano used to be a perennial all-star. They cut him. And, of course, Cano can't find a job now. But even without Robinson Cano, you're looking at that lineup and you're saying to yourself, all of these Mets are having career years. Is that sustainable? Is it? Where everybody in the lineup is going to have a career year at once? Nobody's going to slump? Meanwhile, going to the pitching, Max Scherzer, you remember him? Yeah, he's going to miss a month, the same way Clayton Kershaw is out. And Jacob deGrom is also out. So you're trying to tell me that a pitching matchup between, say, Tyler McGill and Tyler Anderson is a true NLCS preview? I don't think so. I'm just saying. And, of course, both teams have questionable bullpens. Craig Kimbrell, he blew a save. Blew a save. Pain meds are kicking in. And, of course, the Mets bullpen, they have a closer they rely on, but the rest of the bullpen is shaky. So let's bottom line this series for you guys. All I'm going to say about the Mets is that they take care of business. And bully for them for doing it, okay? But few teams have LA's rotation. If you think about it, the Mets came in with a big with a big role, but they played both Philly and Washington this week. None of those teams can pitch. Meanwhile, they're certain to face Walker Buehler in this series. And, of course, they already faced Tony Gonsolin. For the Dodgers, this series matters only in terms of evaluation, like we were talking about earlier, okay? Because if I'm at the end of the series, if I'm the Dodgers front office, I'm saying to myself, we just played a damn good team. So where are we weak? What do we need? Where do we need to adjust? See what I'm talking about? That's what they're looking for, because this is one of the few very legit playoff teams that they've faced so far. They need that data. If you enjoyed today's broadcast, thank you. Like and subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're trying to build something here for LA sports. My name is James. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Can Corso El Queso production, and I am going to swallow some more pain meds. Have a great day.